Hello, I'm delighted to be speaking to Sally and Suranne today about Gentleman Jack, which is fantastic. I've seen the first episode, it's great. But I think the best place to start really would be with a clip so that you can all meet Anne Lister for the first time. So can we play the first clip, please?
I want to go watch it. I'm going to go sit over there. I want to watch it.
Suranne, what kind of driving skills do you need for something like that?
You need to be sat in front of a car that you're actually driving and there's no horses. So there was a lot of whip action. I was taught a lot of whip action, but actually you'd been on set all day and then you brought me on because you were doing all the first bits, and then you brought me on and I kind of just clambered up and down that carriage like it was my carriage. For some reason, I was able to... I just got on with it, didn't I?
Yeah.
I felt like it was yours.
I felt like it was mine, yeah. So I think by that point, we'd been filming for a good month or so, longer maybe. And I was in the rhythm of Anne Lister. So I was quite physical. I was like, yeah, let's do this. Give me the horse, give me the whip. I'm good to go.
Sally, this isn't quite the opening scene of the series, but it's the first time that we meet Anne.
Yeah, it's our introduction to Anne Lister.
Why choose that? What does that say about Anne?
I always think very long and hard about entrances. Entrances are very important. It's like you only get one chance to make a first impression. So it was really important to introduce Anne Lister as someone extremely unusual. It's like, for me, it was like the passenger landing the aeroplane. Anne Lister driving the high flyer, and we know that she could drive. She told a friend that she could drive stagecoaches, or mails as they were called then.
Yeah.
So we know a bit of poetic license there, but only a bit because we know that she could do that. We know that she was a very capable. Capable at many things, but certainly she could drive horses like that.
If a little nauseating for the passengers by the looks of it.
Yeah.
Well, I would think I think whoever would be driving it would probably be nauseating in those days.
I remember hearing the stunt woman had gone up the curb and it was a mistake. And I remember hearing that Sally had gone, that's it, that's what we want. So then she had to repeat this thing, repeat the mistake.
It was quite, I'd shot a scene similar to that before in a previous Into Walk Invisible, and they wouldn't let me put 20 people on the carriage, and and I wanted as many people as I could on top of the carriage. So we had long conversations with the stunt people about whether we could legally do that or not and how to achieve it. And when we went round that corner, Karen, the stunt driver, I mean, she's a really fantastic horsewoman. She drove the carriage that the hearse when Richard III was reburied. So she's a very, very prestigious horsewoman, and she was all for it. But Angie, the script supervisor, she said it was going to fall over that time. It was literally going as it went over that bump. But you did actually really. I mean, it was being pulled by a Range Rover, but you were up there, didn't you?
Yeah.
Don't know if we should be telling people the trade secret.
It was so high up. I'd have been scared to do that even. It was quite and jumping down like that.
Yeah.
But you were owning things, weren't you? By that point, you were Anne Lister.
I was used to jumping and I had my different corset on at that point.
So how many courses did you have?
Well, so because as you may see in other clips or as you watch the series, she does a lot of walking, she does a lot of jumping, she climbs up things, she's very, very physical. But I started to get welts, because underneath all that costume there's the corset, and then we built on top, and I had so many clothes on, and the summer was very hot. And so this corset, I started to get welts here and welts down the bottom, because you shouldn't behave like Anne Lister behaves whilst wearing a corset. So our designer, Tom Pye, who is predominantly a theatre opera designer, said, our ballet dancers have power net corsets. And I said, that sounds great, I want one of those. I didn't know what it was, but it sounded great. And it basically gives you leeway here so that you can bend and stretch and do all the things that I do as Anne Lister, like ripping up trees. At one point, she pulls a fir tree out of her own garden, which is quite something. So once I got the better corset, I was good.
So you had to have the costume redesigned to do all the amazing things that she did.
Yeah. Went to a chiropractor, got a new corset, I was sorted.
It's glamorous filming, isn't it?
Yeah.
Sally, you directed the scene. You directed four of the eight episodes. It gives some sense of the scale of the production. It's a period drama. There's animals. I know there's everything you're not supposed to do for a kind of easy life. So how did you get on with that big, massive production?